you're listening to The Business Show on Radio Blue Mountains 89.1. And now it's one of our favourite times of the week to welcome back Rob Lees from Mortgage Choice Blue Mountains in Penrith for our weekly finance segment. Hey, Rob.
Good afternoon.
Today we're going
Peter.
to talk about why it's important to have a debt-free Christmas.
Yeah, a
Which
debt-free
is
Christmas.
A debt-free Christmas.
That's right.
I like the sound of it, can I tell you?
It's hard to pull off, though. It's very hard to pull off.
Very hard.
Well, but we've got the expert in the room. So, Rob, you've got 5 hot tips that
Sure.
you're going to share with us today on how to have a debt-free Christmas. And the first one is around having a budget.
Yeah, you've got to start with that, and that's why we overspend at Christmas. And this is the problem, and Peter, you probably find New Year, you get lots of clients coming in wanting to consolidate credit card debt because we've overspent. And it's not just the Christmas presents, it's the holiday, the big spend on going out and all that kind of thing. And you've got to start with a budget. I've talked about budgets before, and it's very hard to control all expenses, and you don't need to. So, what you spend on the car, what you spend on utilities and all that are pretty standard. So you've got to control the expenses that are more inclined to blow out, and that's Christmas time.
Yeah, right.
The holiday period.
Yep.
So you've got to start with how much can you afford to spend, and just get a dollar amount and work backwards from there.
Which I guess then kind of leads into your tip number 2, which is around avoiding the credit cards.
That's right. That's the biggest danger is when you keep handing the card over, you actually don't keep a track of how much you spend, and it's not until you get your credit card bill in January that you freak out and you think, oh my goodness, have I spent that much?
Yes, because traditionally retail or, I remember a lot of businesses will say February is the month where everything goes down and goes quiet because everyone's now paying their credit cards.
Yeah, it does happen to all of us to some extent. And I suppose the thing is, it's not so much don't use your credit card, because I use my credit card and then I clear it at the end of the month. The problem is when we've got a balance that we can't pay when the bill comes in and it carries forward. And if it's, $4,000 or $5,000, most people struggle to get that under control because the interest rates are so high. And that's the thing that we really want to avoid.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so, and your tip number 3, D.I.Y Gifts.
Yeah,
this
DIY.
sounds interesting.
I don't imagine you, Rob, as a crafty guy.
I'm not.
Is there something you're going to share with us that we didn't know?
No, probably not. But look, it's another.
Can you see?
It's another way to save on gifts. I remember actually many years ago, it was probably 20 years ago now, we had lots of fruit trees in our backyard. Apricot trees and plum trees and all that. I made jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made jam.
I'm hearing you.
And it actually was a lot of fun. And we used to live across the road from Glenbrook Lagoon, and I made labels up, lagoon treats or something, and those lagoon treats became Christmas presents.
Yeah.
And as a recipient of homemade things too, like fresh baked slice, White Christmas, or one year we've made, you get the chocolate moulds, make your own chocolates.
Yep.
Those sorts of things, and it doesn't even have to be something you eat, but some people are very creative. I am not. My wife's the one who put these ideas in my head and says, okay, get to work and do it. But some people are very creative, and so you can save a bit of money just by some really
I am considering this
gifts.
year. I've got a Thermomix, and it can make the most beautiful lemon curd. Like, it's beautiful, and it cooks it in 7 minutes straight into the bottle.
Bottle it up. And, I think we really do overspend. And isn't Christmas about, it's just showing people, I've thought of you, I love you, I care about you.
And it's very much around family time. And I think a lot of these DIY gifts, like you mentioned before, that you can incorporate the family in to do that. I know many years ago when I gave up retail as my profession, I made a promise to myself that myself and my daughters, we were going to spend that week leading up to Christmas doing fun stuff like that, rather than, when you're in retail, unfortunately, you don't get that opportunity. And those baked goods were their favourite. We would sit, we would plan, and now they're all much older and grown up, and that's what they do every Christmas. So we all look forward to what exciting treats we're going to get under the tree.
And
It's
that can be a
beautiful.
lot of fun.
I also think that every year there's great sales on in the new year, and I find that, like, you want to go and actually buy some really good things on sale,
Yep.
and you've got no money left.
If you got that Christmas
and so
hangover.
we've started, going less with the Christmas presents, being more DIY or whatever, and saving some money for the Christmas sales.
Yeah.
So
'Cause,
budget for the Christmas
I
sale.
bought a pot that was normally like $200, and it was like 50% off.
Yeah.
If
If we were
anyway.
smart, we'd all just give cash and shop in the sales.
So what I'm talking about, budget for the whole season,
Yeah.
which includes the post-Christmas
The
sales.
post-Christmas
Oh, very
sales.
smart. All right, well, you are listening to the Business Show on 89.1, so let's play a bit more music now. This is Chris Isaac with Baby Did a Bad, Bad Thing.
And that was Chris Isaac with Baby Did a Bad, Bad Thing.
And we're back with Rob Lees from Mortgage Choice Blue Mountains in Penrith, and we're talking about your 5 tips to have a debt-free Christmas, Rob.
That's right.
So tip number 4, managing family expectations.
this is
Tell
a
us
big
about
one.
that.
This is a big one. Where the expectation is to buy for everybody, all the nieces and nephews and cousins, and
Yep.
everyone's got to get a present. I think things are changing. I don't know what you do in your family, but it just is impossible. And usually the gifts you get are things that you can't use and all that. So I'd recommend people just have a discussion with the family and just put it out there. Can we do things differently? It might be to set a limit on how much you spend, or maybe things like, I don't know if you do Secret Santa or
Yep.
Kris Kringle, that sort of thing. We
My
do
husband's from a
that now.
big family,
Yeah.
and they actually don't get together on Christmas Day because it's just too big. Everyone's got everyone's family. So we have a $50 budget.
Yep.
So it's a $50. Everyone spends, like, draws out of a hat and
Yep.
and spend
Kris Kringle,
$50,
yeah.
and it's a Kris Kringle.
I think it works
Works
really
really
well.
well.
We do that, and it's just so much. It's less stressful. It means that you've got a little bit more money to spend and to focus on one person rather than trying to focus on 30.
Yeah,
So,
I tried to get my folks into that Kris Kringle Secret Santa option, and unfortunately it kind of didn't work for us. But part of the way I wanted it to work was that we put the dollar limit on it, and we had everybody's name in a hat. But when you put the people's names in the hat, if people gave you 3 or 4 ideas, that then you didn't even have to think too hard. Like, everybody gets that family
Yeah.
member that, like, they've got everything.
Yeah,
but I
don't
thought
know
if you
what to
put
buy for.
a couple of ideas down,
That's a good
and then
idea.
you're still actually
Fantastic.
making the decision
Yeah.
as the gift giver
Yeah.
without having all the stress. But yeah, we're only a very small family, and I think that's probably why
I think
it didn't work.
one thing that also I'm about to do is I don't have a big family, but it's also when you grow up and your brothers and sisters start having children, is stop buying for each
Yeah.
other and just buy for the kids.
Yeah.
That's a good one, I think.
yeah,
That's
we
to
have
do.
an 18 cap.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think this is it. This is what we need to do, and it might mean changing the culture and
Yes.
having a discussion around it, because it's crazy, isn't it?
Yes.
To just sort of buy for everyone when you've got no idea what to buy. And,
Yeah.
Well, that's when the DIY though can come in.
Yep. those
Having
sorts-
some backup
just something-
DIYs.
Something
Yeah.
little that
Yeah.
says I'm thinking of you. And then number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really the overall plan. So you've put that together, you've got your budget, you know how much you want to spend, you've allocated to Christmas presents, you know who you need to buy for. Make a list. Check
And
it
check
twice.
it twice.
And go shopping. Once you know, and try and work it out, make sure it all adds up so that you don't overspend. But it does require a degree of planning.
Definitely.
Otherwise, it will just blow out if it's like me and you go in the shopping centre having no idea what to buy.
Well, thanks,
So-
Rob. That is awesome. And look, very, very quickly, because we're running out of time, but let's just recap those tips for a debt-free Christmas. So have a budget and stick to it. Avoid the use of credit cards. DIY gifts. Have a go. Get your crafty hats on,
Great
everybody. Managing the family expectations, and don't be afraid to change the culture of your family. And then finally, to make that list and check it twice. That's fantastic, Rob. Very good advice.
My pleasure.
So thanks, Rob Lees from Mortgage Choice Blue Mountains in Penrith. And you can contact Rob and his team on 4739 9749, or you can pop into their office at 3/13 Hope Street, Blaxland. You're banging down your door for DIY tips for Christmas.
Yeah, we'll all be each setting up a craft shop down at Mortgage Choice there at Blaxland.
Even better. Let's go and have a craft day with
dear.
Rob. I love
Where
it.
have I started?
Thanks so much, Rob.